What up, though, fam? It's your boy Eka here, and welcome to this episode of the Murmc Sound Podcast. Now, on today's episode, we got our homie Jystdoe. Jystdoe is a Bay Area local Riddim DJ that I met a few months ago and had a pleasure working with on the collab track Springwood Slasher, which is out on all platforms. Definitely go check that out if you haven't already. And before we get into it, I just want to take this quick time to announce that we have our Murmc Music Spotify playlist out, available already. Link to that will be in description below. Featuring all of our releases and releases from friends that are not on the label. A little bit of different music for everybody out there, so definitely go check that out. With that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get into this episode. Check it out. So first and foremost, man, I'm pretty sure everybody who's tuned into the chat right now is curious, who is Jystdoe? Because I will say this: we've gotten a lot of positive feedback about Springwood Slasher. So let's go ahead let's go ahead and get a little background on who Jystdoe is.
Okay, hi guys, I'm Jystdoe. My name's Jesus. I'm a 23-year-old dubstep producer, rhythm producer from the Bay Area. I was born in Mexico, and then I was brought here at 7 months. So, been here like all my life. And yeah, I love music. I love dubstep. Drives me, keeps me inspired.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Similar roots you and I have, though, my friend. I too
Hey.
immigrated from Mexico at a young age.
Hell yeah, dude. From what part?
If I remember correctly, we came from Michoacan. That's where my dad was from.
Dude, me too. I think we talked about this
Did we?
like before.
I don't remember.
I think I remember that. But yeah, dude,
Still.
I'm from Michoacan too.
Wow, what a small world.
Yeah.
Us country
Dude,
folk,
that's
though.
sick.
That's back.
Yeah, for real.
For those who don't know, Michoacan is like essentially like the Texas of Mexico. Just
Yeah.
everything kind of
Yeah.
happens out there, bro.
No laws, Michoacan.
Back at the rancho.
Literally, Rancho way. So that's awesome, man. So
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. Small world.
totally a small world. What was I gonna say? So what got you into dubstep, more specifically Riddim itself? But yeah, what got you into the scene?
So back in like 2012, I was still just mainly listening to like metal music and hardcore, and I was like in that scene. And one day, like my friends started listening to like Dead Mouse and Excision and Skrillex and stuff.
Classics.
And I really liked it. And my friend actually got us tickets to go to this festival called Identity over in Shoreline. It's like a really long time ago. I think like it was like Eric Pritz, Excision, Showtag, like all those old names. And we attended, and we just had a great time. Like it was just pure vibes. Got to know all these new artists like Dr. P and Cascade and stuff. And like I just wanted to know more about like bass music. And like right when I was starting to listening to like all that stuff, that's when like Riddim started like making its way into like the United States with like I'm trying to think like names like Blood Thinners and Bomber and
Blood
I'm trying to
Thinners,
think.
Bomber.
Yeah, Ominous.
Dream. Can't forget about Dream.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Like stuff like that. And that's like the sound that I really wanted to pursue and like get to know more. So that's like when I started getting into the subgenre and knowing more artists. And as I got more into the scene, I started like producing and DJing and just wanted to do like rhythm.
Hell yeah.
So were you a producer first and then a DJ, or were you a DJ first?
DJ first. My sources were very limited. So like back then I was just learning how to use like virtual DJ and like
Oh, for
mix and stuff like that. And then later I started getting into like production and working in DAWs and stuff.
For sure.
It's kind of how I started as well. Yo, what up, Brony? I see you in the chat.
Nice.
Brony asked us
What
the question.
up?
Brony asked us the question. Brony, by the way, Jystdoe is one of our moderators here in the Murmc server, and
Oh, hey.
is our head of the department of humor for the server, providing us with daily dark jokes. So he's a great guy.
Nice.
He asked us
Hey,
if we
what's up,
can
my
give him.
dude?
He asked us if we can give him a hoya. So right there for you, Brony. We'll give you a massive hoya right there for you.
Oh,
Much love, buddy. Yo, Thick Tacos,
yes.
welcome into the chat. He said someone asked for that.
What's
and
up?
someone asked for that in the
Podcast
crowd
without
at
waking
Lost
up my
Lands,
girlfriend.
and I was the only one who did it. I went, damn, that's awkward afterwards, and the random dude next to me laughed. I think that was in response to like the classics that you were mentioning at Imagine that you went to on the way back to the
Okay.
campsite. Damn, that is awkward though. I feel that, dude. But that's cool, dude. That's cool to hear that you started off as a DJ first to kind of get the understanding of it before learning how to produce it. Because I feel like that's always important. Is before you start spinning and producing a certain genre, you kind of have to learn how to play it out before you actually learn how to make it. In my
You
in my
gotta
opinion,
learn how to rock a party. Like,
Mhm.
I think
Exactly. Feel the vibe.
that's right. I think that's something a lot of the producer first generation misses out on. But then on the other end, they have more live chops, and obviously some of them move into a more live specific show. Thinking like Alinium, Slander, Okay, that's a really good example too.
Mhm.
He like moved to like a full band basically, and is like trying to be. He writes like so much pop stuff, so it's like I feel like you really gotta like niche yourself in and figure out exactly what you want, and then just like
Yeah, I agree.
pinpoint on it, and the sound will develop from there. I feel like.
Yeah, so kind of
Straight up, 100%.
So kind of spitballing off of that, what kind of got you into Riddim specifically after finding dubstep and kind of figuring out this is kind of what I want to learn how to do. I want to learn how to spin / produce and all that.
Great question. I actually feel like 140 BPM is just such a really intense vibe and sound. And just hearing that come from different producers, different sound design, like the rhythm is just kind of like what got me into it, just hearing that like kick and clap and just having that like, semi-repetitive bass line, just at the time was just like, what? That's awesome, like
Yeah, the whole
just,
minimalistic aspect
yeah,
of it.
yeah, definitely. Like, you can make your own sound design if it has a nice bitchin' kick and clap, like you can do whatever. Like Death, he's such a great example. I know he wasn't from like the very beginning, but like now, like I just saw him at Audiotistic and like his whole set is just like his own music, but like he can just make any beat and it just has that classic sudden death like kick and clap and it just rocks.
Yeah, no,
Mhm.
100%. Sudden death in its whole self. That's a whole. I feel like it's a whole other ball game when it comes to Riddim because it's very still Riddim, but it's like not at the same time.
Yeah.
It's
There's
interesting.
some like tear out mixed in there.
Yeah.
Some heavy metal
Mhm, for
chords
sure.
and like
A lot, and what's really cool is now he's taking it a step further because granted for like the past 4 or 5 years he's been always playing original shit, but now he's adding his own vocals to it now. Like the
Yeah.
past few
I've
times,
seen that.
yeah, the past few times I've seen him, he's actually like done the demonic growls and screaming into the drop, kind of like what Sullivan King does, but it's just it's always better because the more guttural it is, in my opinion, the better it is. I mean, granted,
Yeah.
like you, I'm also a metalhead as well. So, the more guttural it is, I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Like I learned
Oh
bass
yeah.
face from making the stank face from breakdowns, and
True.
Yeah.
it just kind of
You're just
transferred
like,
over.
ooh.
Yeah. Oh, there's still songs when I listen to like songs today. that are like coming out from like deathcore and like metalcore and all that. There's breakdowns. I'm just like, okay, hold on. Oh, damn.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially with how far DAWs have come. Like, imagine where the kids are at that are like home producing their metal records and stuff like that at this point.
I know a
Yeah.
couple of like home producers that do a lot of gent, and oh my god, the stuff that they're doing with the DAW
Yeah.
too, it's just wow.
Like, it blew my mind the first time I saw someone digitally program hardcore like pop punk drums like with a DAW. I was like, what do you mean you can just program that?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Crazy,
Yeah.
crazy VSTs, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you just need one of those live drummer VSTs and then just you can have at it.
Pretty much. I mean,
I was actually trying to do a challenge like that where I make a song that's like heavy metal, but just use like Ableton and VSTs.
it can be done. Like there's one of the homies in here that does that, like like in DAW metal production, and wow, dude, the stuff that he makes, insane.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it kind of reminds you that we just make dance music.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so awesome, bro.
Yo, some cat,
Yeah.
welcome into the chat, cat. Welcome into the show. Thanks for stopping by.
Some cat.
Oh,
So let's talk about some of the stuff you've done already. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh God, I'm having a lot of brain farts today. I'm really sorry about this, guys.
very good.
Here we go. Here's one. Let's talk about your one of your releases that you did. Dead on Arrival. Let's talk about that for a little bit. First off, wow.
I'm glad you liked it.
Oh yeah, the minute I heard that, I'm like, yes, this is going into the library for sure.
Thank you, thank you.
So,
DOA
yeah,
was,
talk a little bit about
what were
DOA.
you saying?
I was gonna say, just talk a little bit about DOA. What was kind of like the beginning steps to it, into the final production of it, into getting it signed to what was it? Base Capital Records, was it?
Yeah, Base Capital from Denver.
Mm-hmm.
So for DOA, I really wanted to do something that just was more on the rhythm side because I don't know if you saw before, like I made Tales of a Serial Killer, which was more like bro step, dubstep kind of vibe,
Mm-hmm.
and so I wanted to just stick to the original roots, which is like rhythm, and I really just get inspired by horror movies. You know this, Eka. We had conversations about that before, but you know, I
Yes.
watch a lot of horror movies and especially like the 80s, like slashers, like those are my favorite.
Those are the
And
best.
yeah, so I just, I try to find some samples from the films, some in some archives online and stuff and see if they work with the track. And the ones that I added from there were actually from the original Friday the 13th, which is like the one from 1980.
Nice.
And yeah, so I just
That's why
wanted
it sounded
to
familiar.
keep that spooky vibe going. Yeah. And Base Capital actually heard Tales of a Serial Killer and they really enjoyed it, but by then it was already self-released. So they just said, like, make some shit, like if you have some new shit, send it over to us. And I did, and they really liked it and wanted to release it like as soon as possible. So we were gonna like wait till like October, but it got released in like September of last year because they just wanted to put it out, ASAP.
Mm, understandable.
Yeah. Hmm.
Although I feel like it probably would have done better and fit the vibe more if you guys did an October release.
Yeah, it's all good. We're just both too stoked to release it.
Still, that's awesome. Wonderful track again, by the way, man. Would you
Thank
say
you.
Art?
that?
Thank you.
Would you say when you made DOA, you kind of essentially found like your niche or your sound in a way with this one?
Great question. I sure did. That's definitely a track that, I want to show everyone like this is like my love letter to rhythm, like this is just like my first release that, defines what I want to do from here on out. I do want to like switch out, I do want to experiment with other genres. I have done it before with like lo-fi hip hop,
Mm-hmm.
but if someone's gonna like pull up my name, like I want them to like put me in, 140 rhythm, category. So yeah.
I think
There's always time for side projects.
oh, absolutely.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Absolutely. But no, I think with this one, on top of Springwood, I think this definitely puts you on the map as a rhythm producer.
Thank you, thank you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Let's go ahead and kind of chat and kind of break down Springwood while both of us are on here.
Yeah, for sure.
So to kind of give context about the whole song, fam, we first met about 3-4 months ago, 4 or 5 months ago at this point, actually, in Chico when this fucker opened up for Murata. First off, crazy fucking night.
It sure was, dude. Memorable forever.
Security tried to break
It's
the
crazy
mosh
how we
pit multiple
met.
times.
Yeah.
I think we
Yeah,
started.
that place doesn't like mosh pit.
No, not at all. We started talking right after security dragged me out of the mosh pit. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stop, give it a break. Oh, hey, look, it's the rhythm guy.
Hey.
Because
Yeah,
out
that
of
was awesome.
all the openers there, don't get me wrong, Glasspack did an amazing job with this set. Because his set,
Oh fuck yeah! Shout out Glasspack.
yeah, shout out Glasspack, by the way, love you, buddy. But yeah, this set, I've seen him a couple times, but that set was like, yes, this is what you need to be fucking doing.
Yeah. Hell
Perfect
yeah, it
fit
was
to go right
awesome.
before Murata too. Like it was a perfect
Oh, yeah.
transition.
Definitely, he was the great direct support for sure.
Absolutely.
Perfect choice.
Absolutely. And then, if I remember correctly,
I've
you
yet
went
to
on.
see Murata.
Yeah, Murata is definitely a must see for sure.
Yeah. I have to
Yes,
check it out.
100%.
Although I always say when you first see Murata, stay as far back as possible. Just take it in from the distance.
Yeah, that's how I like my dubstep. Like back when Nectaroni and Cheese wasn't canceled, um, I used to always like we'd be at the back of like just thousands of people just all moving to the like I'll never forget he played like uh either Bohemian Rhapsody or We Are the Champions, one of the two. I can't remember which one. But the entire crowd, like the entire festival, was just singing it along with this crescendo. It was just
Wow.
exploded in my brain.
Beautiful.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah,
Absolutely nuts. I have footage of it. I should post that. People would like that.
Yeah,
definitely.
I'd watch it.
That's definitely a memorable moment right there. But going back to Springwood and everything. So I initially met this guy in the crowd, and this was actually because did you go right before Glasspack or was this?
Yeah, I went right before
That's
Glasspack.
right. That's right. So it was like so we started talking kind of like in the slower part of his set, and instantly we just kind of hit it off. I mean, granted,
Yeah, it was.
I already had high respect for this kid here because he played like real rhythm. Like there's kids that
Oh,
play
yeah,
rhythm
dude.
and play like some angry dubstep on top of it, but this was like real rhythm.
Hell yeah, dude. I was like really nervous going into that.
No, you did well.
What attracts
Thank you.
me to Riddim is its stripped back nature. Like it harkens back to like the core of dubstep where it was raga rhythms over like hip hop beats and things sort of genesis from there. But
Right.
I'm not a big bass music head. Like I like bass music. Like so like Bog Trotter, like I can't even think of another example of that sort of type, but like the sort of like digital squelchy bass music.
Mm-hmm.
And then like glitch, I'm super into like Mr. Bill and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
But like I'm not super into like the aggressive tear out. Like I liked Excision, but I never like listened to him. But what you've turned me on to about Riddim is that sort of like minimalist nature. It's all in the sample use, which it's not. So like, let's orientate this conversation because I keep sidetracking it.
You're all good.
What was the process finding samples for that? Like, where was the genesis of that?
For Springwood.
Yeah.
Initially, at the end of the night, I told him that I was going to hit him up and we were going to do some work. And I already kind of had an ID ready to go just to toss to him to see what he can, like, essentially create from it. Because the ID that I sent him was kind of like a fully finished track, but I told him just use whatever and just fuck around with it and we'll go from there. And I sent him the stems from kind of originally it was a very old school, very minimalistic, wonky OG style Riddim song. And then I'll let you take it from here because this is more so your process and what you did.
When I got the song that you released, it was first called Wonkers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to find something that sounded similar to what you were doing, and I want to add some real spooky vibes to it, just like the previous release, and just played with serum and got these crazy guttural, growls. And I knew that once that like I got that bass line going, like my mind just started, you know, going really fast, and I ended up just making that first portion in like 20 minutes because I was just really inspired by Wonkers.
Hell yeah. Cheers, by the way, fam.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. So we're just having like a smoke break.
Somebody may have redeemed the 420. We have something like that.
Oh, you guys have a sponsor, right?
Just me. Just me. I just have the sponsor, but no, we smoke.
Cool.
We smoke regularly on the podcast, anyways.
Oh, nice. Okay, I was gonna say, I'm like, do you mind?
No, go ahead. Absolutely. We're completely 420 since we're based in California. Yeah.
And I'm in Massachusetts.
Oh, nice.
Which
How are
supports
the weed laws over in Massachusetts?
Oh, fully legal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah.
Yeah, and we have medical too. So the
Oh, nice.
price differential is huge. Like my girlfriend has a medical card, so we can even buy in
cool.
Maine. So we usually go up to Maine
Oh, nice.
for our flower. Yeah, good stuff.
Nice.
Nice little trip.
Yeah, Maine
Yeah.
is more established, so the strains are a little bit deeper. Like the eugenics are better, basically, because they've been around longer. And most of the weed you get in Massachusetts is very much like hydro grown, like flash in the pan kind of weed, if you know what I'm saying. Like it's high test, but it's like not the best weed. If that makes
Yeah.
sense.
A lot of additives put into the process and everything.
Right. It's like I feel like people forget that they have to cultivate a grow instead of just growing for test scores, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But so spooky vibes. You're bringing in the spooky vibes. So did the track get passed hand to hand a couple of times, or was it one bounce to Jyst and then back for the master? What was the next step?
So once
Sorta, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. So once he sent me what he did, it kind of inspired me to kind of take what he sent me and just kind of build a whole new track out of that.
Cool.
Because in a sense, with what he did, he kind of changed the vibe a little bit too. Because it was kind of
I didn't
already
mean to.
no, all good, all good.
That's the fun of collaboration.
That's why I said
Yeah.
do what you do, send me whatever you got, and we'll go from there. Exactly my.
This is
pace.
actually my first collab, by the way, guys.
That's awesome.
Boom! I'm happy to be part of it, man. Hell yeah.
Honored.
So
It's a signed record. Look at that.
even
Hell
better.
yeah. I know. Murmc. Fuck yeah, dude.
Happy to provide that for you, man. But yeah,
Thank you.
once he sent me the stems and essentially like the master file of it, I was like, okay, hold on. We got something different over here now, and I like it. I got something now. Hold
Oh
on.
yeah.
And then it took me a few
Yeah, you
weeks
know,
to
you're
get.
like, hold up.
Yeah, it took me a few weeks to get the sound design right because I wanted to use elements of your drop, but also add my twist to it, and that was the challenging part. Because normally I would have to. Normally I layer in something that's like more mid heavy underneath, but the sounds that you had for your drop was already just heavy as it is. So I'm just like, cool. Now the challenging part is putting everything around that. Fuck. I
You did
got
a
my.
great job, dude. Especially the second drop. It's a great example.
Thank you. I worked my ass off to get it. It's more so also changing the flow pattern too, because I didn't want it to be too repetitive.
Yeah.
I think that's what made it work so well too. Is not only the switch up in the sounds, but also the switch up in the flow as well.
I don't know about you
Yeah,
guys,
for
but
sure.
I find variation to be the hardest part of writing music. Like building in like variations in whatever you do in your style for variation, but it's like really difficult
It can be.
Yeah.
It honestly can be, and I think
for me.
I mean it was for me with this one too because anytime I switched up the flow, it never really sounded the way I wanted it to, and I had to do a lot more work post processing with a lot of my layers on top of what um, Jystdoe sent me.
Okay.
And yeah, so this was more. This was a challenge, and it was difficult, but I'm glad we pulled it off.
They
Yeah.
are on track.
Hey.
Yeah, and it's doing well, and it's doing very well. Not only on our SoundCloud, but on all platforms, it's doing pretty well. So we're
Oh, yeah. I was just about to
it
ask
should.
that because I've been sharing it as much as I can, and I've seen that the SoundCloud, it's been the likes and the listens have been going up. So I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely in the upper hundreds for overall plays on Spotify for
Oh,
sure.
hell yeah.
So yeah, we're doing good.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, thank you everybody out there, and those of you who watch this later on our YouTube. Thank you everybody who's checked it out. If you haven't already, check that shit out. We actually
Yeah, go
played
check
it.
out Springwood Slasher, yo.
We actually played at the beginning of the stream too. If you guys were, if you some of those were in, for those of you who were in here at the beginning of the stream, played it out. So you definitely heard it there.
Oh yeah.
But add that shit to your playlist. Share it. If you're a DJ, play
Yeah.
that shit out. God damn it.
Double that shit, chop it.
Ah man, I've been having so much fun when I jam with that song. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Earlier this evening, actually, I every so often I'll DJ for a Discord server full of flow artists and glovers.
Okay.
Gavin in here actually got me into that server. And so tonight I was like, screw it. I normally play at a later time, but I gotta play early tonight if you guys really want me to play. So I played that song out, and first off, people were hyped to hear it because I share all my music in there. So when that dropped, I'm like, yo, y'all will definitely fuck with this shit.
Hell yeah.
Oh, the triple I played today. Oh my god, dude. The double.
You need to link me to that.
I will. The double that I played at DNA, that was fucked.
Oh, you guys started talking about gloving, and my fingers just lit up. My bad.
Oh no, you're all good. You're all good.
Yeah, everyone was hyped.
Yeah, everyone was hyped. That it was so I was like looking for you because I was trying to find you to bring you up, and the next thing I know, you're already up there. I'm like, okay, sweet, yes.
Yeah, the team was like, get up, go up. And I'm just like, I don't know, I didn't get the okay. And they're like, you have to go. And I'm like, all right, fine.
Yeah, they asked me
Oh,
later.
yeah.
They're like, "Who was that guy that hopped up here?" I'm like, "Oh, that's the guy. That's my homie that I collab with on the song that I was doubling up with at the time." And they're like, "Oh, okay, for sure." I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna bring some random motherfucker up on stage, dog."
Yeah, you're like, I just got a stranger from the crowd to go up there.
I only got one person I'm bringing up, and god damn it, it's someone I collab with who's there, fucker.
Yeah.
Weirder
Yeah, thank you
shit
so
has
much for doing that,
happened,
man.
I'm sure.
What was that, Gavin?
I said weirder shit has happened, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm pretty sure weird shit has happened in DNA. Fuck, I can tell you a couple weird stories that happened at DNA for back in my day. No, that show was a lot of fun. Speaking of shows, I see you have quite a few bookings under your belt actually.
Are you talking to me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't have anything coming up so soon, but I've played with like Tizoki, Murata, Lucy, etc. But I've I'm honored to have that opportunity.
No, yeah, absolutely. I can see that you put into work. I've seen that you also played Social Desert as well.
Yeah, yeah, I did. I fucking love my SoCal homies. Like, I can't wait to be back there.
Some of the people that do Social Desert are actually from some of my Burn tribe. From
No way.
yeah.
For Burning Man?
Yep.
Oh,
Wait,
no
you've
way,
been to
that's sick.
Burning Man?
Yeah, you've been a Burning Man?
Yeah, Gavin, we talked about this numerous times, but yeah, I've been to Burning Man a couple times.
Apparently, I
Oh
just
shit,
blacked
dude.
out the entire time because that's fucking news to me.
All good.
Yeah.
Here's my thing about Burning Man, right?
Mhm.
The only way I'm going to Burning Man is if I can drive an RV out on the playa and have a fully sustainable RV, like with all the homies, and
You
just have like
you can.
like yeah, but like the RV's got to be choice. Like I'm not a boat guy. Like I'm not really a car guy. I'm an RV guy. Like
I'm an
fucking
RP guy.
love them.
I like with just
That's
like
the only way to do it.
I love with just the firmness you say behind that. I'm not a boat guy. I'm not a car guy. I'm an RV guy.
Yeah,
Fucking
I
RVs.
and then therein I like trucks. But like
hmm.
it's it would be so sick because then I totally can put like two golf carts on the back in a like trailer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can put a couple of bikes on the trailer too. You just bring a trailer with you,
Yeah.
put a bunch of shit on it,
No, you
right?
definitely need a bike or some form of like vehicle like that to get around. Because
What would-
like so let's say you're at one point to get to the complete opposite, like polar opposite side from where you're located, wherever the fuck you're located at in Black Rock City, it takes exactly an hour on a bike.
Interesting.
This thing is huge.
So you can locate yourself via
So
like
the streets are
time spent riding.
essentially all the so how the city's set up is basically set up kind of like in a half clock. So from one side to the other, the major streets are all increments of time.
Interesting.
So you go from like 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock to 11 to 12, 1, 2, all the way over.
I wonder if they line it up specifically like with some sort of sundial or moon dial.
Probably so, because it's always
What-
perfectly set up every single time.
Yeah, and it's community driven, which is fucking
Mhm.
insane.
Absolutely. And here's the crazy part, and this is what always blows people's mind. You don't need much cash when you go to Burning Man.
I heard you need like so much money to go to that to survive.
To get the basic provincials, your staples, and your tickets and everything, and to get everything set up and prepped, that's where the money comes in. But when you're actually there, you don't need to spend money at all for anything.
Interesting.
Wow.
So
Interesting.
like let's say you're riding your bike and you pop a tire or your chain breaks. Take it into one of the many local fucking located bike shops. Take your bike in, 20-30 minutes later, your bike's fixed.
Wow.
No charge.
That's awesome.
Bro, there's like free sex tents, there's free blowjob tents, there's free drug tents. There's a whole lot of there's hella shit to do.
Just mad tense.
Mad tents.
Yeah.
And literally, I haven't gone into these tents myself. I have homies that've gone in and tell me their experience. So like we're walking along from our campsite once, and we see a sign, a little triangle, like little triangle sign that's set up and shit, and it says free blowjobs with an arrow pointing to the tent right next to it. So my homie goes, "All right, I'm gonna find out. I'll be right back. 15 minutes." I'm like, "The fuck? All right, cool." We'll be
It's
over.
like, okay.
We'll be over here at the Kava bar here on the corner of the street, so that way it's easy to locate us afterwards. What the fuck? Granted, this is like the third day, so homeboy's already just massively just gone.
Yeah, I bet.
Shit you not though, he comes back damn near 15 minutes later. And I was like, so what happened? And he was like, bro, I walked in, they pulled my shit down, they made with the head, and then they kicked me out. I'm like, the fuck? And then two of my homies dipped from the Kava bar to cut at the same tent, dude. I'm like, what the fuck? That was like a huge like culture shock about Burning Man. That was like my second year too, so I'm just like, what the fuck?
How many years have you gone?
I've gone 4 years.
4 years.
Mhm.
Nice. Like
The
back to back.
hedonistic side of it.
2
is kinda
years. My
wild.
first and second year were back to back.
Oh, okay. Shit, dude.
Yeah. It's a funny thing, my second year is when I bumped into Dr. Fresh. Super
Oh, shit.
randomly. Yeah. I hopped.
Sick, dude.
Yeah, I was running around. I saw one of the art cars. So I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna hop on this one." Since I'm just kind of roaming the shit by myself for a minute, fuck it.
Yeah.
So I hopped on and I started meeting people. Started being like the social butterfly. Eventually got myself up to the stage, and then there I see Jolly Green fucking Giant right there, just partying it up with his crew.
Nice.
And I was like, "Yo, Tony," and he looks over and goes, "Oh my god, what the fuck? You're here?" I'm like, "You're here? What the fuck are you doing here?"
You're both there. That's what's
You guys
crazy.
are in there.
And he goes, "I'm about to play." I'm like, "Oh shit, let's go." Dude, fucking insane, dude.
That's
wild.
sick, dude. Aren't you guys like friends?
Yeah. We
Nice.
Tony's the homie.
we
Hey.
met. Tony and I met years ago. Like, fuck, it's been 12 years at this point.
Oh wow. Long friendship.
Yep. EDC 2010, man. That's where we first met.
Oh wow.
We also look up to him from a business standpoint. We think he's
Absolutely.
a very well adapted artist in the modern world.
Nice.
It's
Yeah, I love his music.
Yeah, especially
Oh,
what he's
for
doing.
sure.
Especially what
That
he's
goes
doing
without
with.
saying.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially with what he's doing with his label 2 House Call, just amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Just totally bringing a whole like. I feel like I haven't heard fresh house music like that since like the electro house days. Like
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people got lost in the future and the tech house over the past like 5-ish years,
Which
and
was
it's fine.
What's funny is with the past few demo streams that I've tuned into, because I'm also one of his moderators, not only in the Discord server, but for his Twitch channel as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so in a sense, I'm kind of obligated to tune in. But it's an excuse for me to take a break whenever he does his demo streams and stuff. So I'm like, cool. I get to hang out and just listen to music and just chat with people on Twitch. Awesome. Super fun. But
That's
a lot
awesome.
of the stuff that's been being sent through and played through his demo stream lately, it's just there's some electro house making a comeback, dude.
For sure, because
Nice.
kids are trying to figure out that baseline shit, and it's coming out electro.
Yep.
And I'll tell you why, because I can't figure it out either.
Greatest mystery ever unsolved.
Dude, I'm gonna
right
fucking
here.
crack it. I don't care if I have to steal the Declaration of Independence. Okay.
The secrets of UK baseline is hidden on the back of the U.
They're on the back of the U.S.
Gavin over here is gonna pull
Yeah.
a Nicolas Cage, guys. Watch out.
Dude, don't get me
Located
started
in the
on that.
Vatican.
Now,
Oh yeah,
the secrets
gotta
of
follow
German.
the ley lines, bro.
No, the secrets of German bass are hidden in the Vatican. That's the true secrets right there.
I'm just sad. That idea just makes me sad.
We'll never find out.
Right? We'll never find out.
Drum and bass is one of those interesting genres that like good drum and bass when you hear it. You know what I mean? It
Yes.
just like it brings the finger guns out and you don't even notice it's happening.
God, these finger guns are just aching for a good drum and bass set. Ugh.
For real. Hopefully there's one soon. I don't know. I haven't kept up with any drum and bass events.
There's some that pop through in the city, in San Francisco, but When Reaper came through, though, oh my god,
I missed that.
massive. We all got to collectively say fuck Kumarion when he hopped on stage.
What?
Because like he like comes out before Kumarion comes on, and he goes, "Yo, everybody! When Kumarion comes on, everybody just shout fuck Kumarion." He told me not to say it, but we're gonna say it anyways. And he just like puts the mic down and runs off. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck?
He just like shut up and he's like, "What? What
All
did I
right.
do?"
I'm like, all right, cool. He like hops up. He goes, "Yo, what's up, guys? I'm Kumarion." "Yo, fuck Kumarion." He goes, "All right, fuck you, Reaper," and then just starts going ham. And then Reaper comes on. They start, and then Reaper comes on, goes ham, and then they do it back to back. And then they brought on Slang Dogs actually to do a little like.
Oh wow.
Yeah, dude, that shit was.
Slang Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Fire.
That's some local talent right there.
Yeah, I was just about to say. I'm like, I think I played a show with them back in like a few years ago in San Jose.
Oh, did you?
It was for like it was for the Wobbleland DJ competition. It was like me, Slang Dogs, Louder Space, Scooby Dude. That's honestly how I started meeting all of you guys, like the DJ communities, like through that show.
Which Wobbleland competition was it? Was this the recent one?
It was for Lucy. Lucy was doing a pre-party for Wobbleland at DNA Lounge. So yeah,
okay.
for the support, they did a competition over at the Elevate nightclub in San Jose.
Okay. Nice.
It was
Like a
sick.
little DJ competition, a little throwdown, hoedown.
Yeah, it was like a throwdown. Like they had like a voting system through tickets. Like you go up and like you vote, and I feel like everyone won because soon after that, like everyone who played that show got booked for like Barely Alive or I'm trying to think like other artists that I don't remember, but like the next few lineups that were at DNA Lounge had everyone that was performing there.
It was like a showcase.
Yeah, it was more of a showcase than a competition for sure.
That's dope.
Was that how you got
Yeah.
the booking for Grimefest?
Yes, that's how I met Chris. Is through that Chris Archie from Olympus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we met through that competition or the showcase, and from there, that's when we started, following each other, and he eventually reached out for future events.
Nice.
Yeah.
How
Shout out to Chris.
Yeah, shout out to Chris. How did that show go? I didn't
It
get a
was-
chance to attend that. That was still.
I know. I'm like, I hope you went because that's a dope lineup.
It was, but I think that was when DNA Lunch was still like.
Yeah.
We need to see your actual vaccination card for you to get in.
Yeah. It was when SF was really tough.
Yeah.
It was dope. So I'm friends with Chris on Facebook, and when he posted, I need some local talent, tag them in the comments, and my friends, and family, they all, banned my name and got me on there, and then he reached out and he said if I wanted to play for Ulasile, and I was just like, I was screaming. I think I was driving to get groceries with my lady, and she just like, oh, Chris Archie, like, like messaged you, and then I saw and I was like, oh shit, it's for Ulasile. Like I was like screaming. I was like, no way. Like I was so excited. And yeah, I was super hyped, it's like Ulasile, Neonics, Ominous, like Digitus, it was like I was super massive, super honored and blessed. And it got postponed. I don't know if you saw, but like it was supposed to be somewhere in August, I believe, and it got pushed back to November because of like COVID and everything. So the hype was like going on for days. I was practicing and getting new music out, and it was a dope time. I got to introduce myself to Neonics. That was really cool, because we transitioned. But yeah, it was a dope experience. So anyone that went to that show, it was lit.
That's awesome. Yo,
Sounds
what up,
lit.
Petty God? Welcome in.
What up?
The one, the only, the petty.
Neonix is an interesting character. I will say that. I met
His music's awesome.
his music's awesome. Him as a person, he's a cool guy. Just interesting. Interesting. I mean, granted, I met him at Lost Lands actually last year.
Oh, nice. You went?
Yeah, man, last year was weird with all the shit that happened. Man, it was weird. Awesome.
Also,
So I'll get into that in a little bit after I explain the Neonic story. So I'm chilling at the forest stage. It's like the third major stage at Lost Lands, and remember this was when the homies were playing at the forest stage. So it was Doctor Fresh was closing it out. Bijou was playing before him, and then Corrupt played before Bijou. So and I got to meet Bijou and Corrupt at Lost Lands for the first time, and we all got really really close. So
wow, that's awesome. Corrupt.
yeah, super
Bijou.
awesome. Yeah, Corrupt from the UK, just nasty, the nastiest fucking UK bassline. Bro.
It's so fucking good.
Oh
It's
my
so
god,
fucking good.
his set, dude. I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah, slap your mama good. Like
And
he's a gnarly DJ too.
He is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And funny thing is, that's also where I got to meet Al Ross in the flesh for the first time.
The homie.
Yeah, because we met on Discord and chatted on Discord, and they told me that they were going to Lost Lands because it was their birthday. They go every year. So I'm just like, we gotta link. We gotta meet up. I'll find you. I'll find you. So go figure. We meet on the final day. So, but during I think it was during Bijou set. I'm standing with my homie Dave, and he goes, "Yo, I think that's Fun Case over there, just chilling over there in the corner." I'm like, "Oh, for sure, cool." And I just started walking up to him. I'm like, "Yo, James," and he just turns over and goes, "Oi, what?" I'm like, "You want a fag, bro? You want a cigarette?" He goes, "Fuck, can I take two?" I'm like, "Yeah, take two, bro. Fuck yeah, go for it."
Wow.
And he goes, "Oh, dude, thanks, man." I'm like, "Yeah, hope you're having a good time, man. Have a good night. Peace out." And then I look over, and then there's Neonix with a kendama draped over his neck, and then his pants around his ankles.
I know he likes to perform with his pants off.
So I'm like, "You good, bro?" He goes, "I'm just hot, bro." I'm like, "I got you." So I grabbed my homie's fan, and I just start fanning his legs and like his taint area. I'm like, "There you go, buddy." He goes, "Oh my god, yes." You're a saint. In my head, I'm just like, here I am. I'm giving Funk Case cigarettes and fanning Neonix's fucking ass. Yes.
Can't do that at Disney World.
I mean, technically, that's every dubstep and Riddim / bass heads Disneyland right there is Lost Lands.
Yeah, I would say
for sure. But yeah, Lost Lands that last year was crazy. So it was more so day 2 when the craziness started happening. So day 2, the crew and I head out. We head to the main stage because it was Bomber and Hash back to back, and I fucked with Bomber tough. And with I learned to love Hesh because they've always done so much shit together. So I'm like, fuck it. I back to back. Let's go.
Fuck shit.
So here we are, we're vibing out, and then out of nowhere, Hesh plays his song "None Hold My Strap" and doubles it up with an ID that I sent to Bomber.
Whoa.
And I'm like, no, wait, what? And then I'm hearing my sound design come through. I'm just like, what? I lost my shit.
Amazing.
I teared up.
When he told me about that shit.
I'm like, dude, I cried.
Amazing, dude.
I broke down. I'm just like, what the fuck? And like, how people are like, dude, are you okay? I'm like, this is my song that he's playing right now, bro.
Shit.
I made this. And he goes, and everybody's just like, dude, what the fuck? Hell yeah. And then moments later, I meet this DJ that I've been following who's based out of Ohio. And he was blown away that I even knew who the fuck he was. And I'm like, nah, dude, I've been following you for like the past 2 years, dude. Like, I know who the fuck you are, Voto. Shout out to Voto. Much love, fam. Um, and then throughout the day, more and more people that I ran into or like that I was meeting knew who the fuck I was. So like I even ran into people that knew me from Idaho when I played in Idaho the 2 years ago. And they're just like, "Yo, Eka, you're here." I'm just like, "Who the fuck are you guys?"
Holy shit, that was 2 years ago. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, insane. But yeah, it was just a trip. And then that's when I also linked up with Dr. Fresh and all the homies and everything. So like it was all just overwhelming. Granted, I was also very, very, very not sober.
How it should be. Just kidding.
Nah, it's all good. I mean, it was fun. You just moderation and responsibly.
Yeah.
Something I did
Just
not
don't drink
do
and
that.
drive.
That's something I
Like
did
a fucking adult, right?
Exactly. That's something I did not do that weekend. I was very much gone.
Nice. Sounds like an awesome weekend.
It was. It was also kind of cool because I got to show Dr. Fresh and all the guys Void for the first time, like in the flesh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
That's Sudden Death's other project, right?
yeah,
Void.
his little like I don't even know how to classify it because it's still his
alias.
I mean, yeah, / alter ego, but I mean it's still his brand. It's
a
interesting.
side project, right? Like...
Yeah.
Kinda, but even then, his main project, The Sudden Death, also has songs that also tie into the Void project. Because the whole Void project, it's like a whole like lore backstory type thing. Like if you go back and watch his like music videos for each of his releases as Void and Sudden Death, the music videos are interconnected. There's just more pieces that he needs to put together.
Yeah.
To have the forethought on a project like that, it's crazy.
Bro, this kid has so much thought that he puts into Void, it's ridiculous. I watched his breakdown of Void 2 because he did like a live stream on YouTube where he kind of broke down track by track like his thought process behind it. Jesus Christ. Like the guy hired voice actors
if you got the money, right?
I mean, if you got the money and the thought of exactly what you want, I mean, shit.
Shit, they have like
they
have an app for that now. I forget what it's called. You can get people to like say things, like the Duke Nukem guy does it. People can pay him.
Cameo.
What's that called? Cameo. I wanted to say Cameo or something. Yeah, Cameo.
Same.
So like, yeah, but like just that on a macro level. So like, if you're gonna tell me if you had the money and he was willing to do it, you wouldn't hire Sir Alec Guinness to do like a pre-drop vocal?
Bro, I totally would.
Right. So it's like, I can understand where like it might have been difficult for him to make the Void project come to fruition if he didn't do the Sudden Death project to build that foundation off of.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I always feel like Void is like the main, like this is just like a theory. I've seen Void a couple times, like with his music and stuff. I feel like Void is him, like his main, like version of himself, and he's just kind of controlling like the Sudden Death project. But like if you go deeper into Sudden Death, like it's controlled by Void. I don't know. It just makes sense to me.
I've heard that theory too. Yo,
especially with
what
like
up,
his
man
visuals.
Bun? Welcome in. Much love from the W Discord. Shout out to W, by the way.
Yeah, there's like a visual that he plays during his sets. I saw it at Audiotistic over the weekend. He has one, it's like really infamous. It's like Void, and he's like almost playing with these puppets, and he's just like moving them around.
I've seen that visual
at the Void show in San Jose. Those puppets were him. Like it had his hair and his looked just like him. So that's where I got the theory that, you know, Void is like actual sudden death. I don't know if
Nothing,
it makes sense.
nothing goes harder as far as sudden death sets, and void sets. Nothing goes harder than hometown sets.
Facts.
Because that voice set was the hardest fucking voice set I've ever fucking witnessed.
Facts. You were there, right? San
yeah.
Jose?
Mm-hmm. I had
yeah.
to, because I mean the fact that he's essentially from San Jose, like,
Yeah.
you gotta show support.
Hell yeah.
What's your favorite? Hold on. Man Bun Tech asking, "What's your favorite W flavor?" Right now, man, the flavor that I've been going with, Man Bun, has been the flavor that flavor called Dub Sludge, which fitting for me because I also make dubstep, so it kind of goes hand in hand. Which, by the way, everybody in the chat, definitely check out w.gg. Solid fucking shit.
Will do. Oh shit, did your room just turn like red?
Oh no, it's been red for a minute.
Oh, I just didn't notice. See, okay, now it doesn't look so red.
Oh, okay. No, yeah.
Oh, maybe it's just like your light.
Yeah, it's the lighting from my monitors and everything.
So I feel like it's cycling too, right? There's like a.
Mm-hmm.
I've been entranced by it while I've been having a conversation.
Same here.
nice little mood lighting.
Staring deeply into your soul, Eka.
I had to go with the red undertones because red's a classic color for a lot of horror movies and stuff.
I agree, and black.
Yeah.
So let's talk about horror, because maybe you guys can get me hip on some stuff. Because when it comes to horror, I'm more into like the hauntings. Like my favorite horror movie is The Woman in Black.
That's a good one.
Okay, so you're like into more like paranormal stuff.
Yeah, and like it's gotta have like a thriller aspect.
Okay,
if that makes sense. Like, because I like psychological thrillers too. So like, I'm just not super into like. A lot of the ones I've seen have just been like somebody gets trapped in a box and then tries to escape the box, but the box outside the box is a trap. And like I've seen so many things like that. Like, but you know what I did do really like? Tales from the Crypt.
That's a really good
one.
Yo, Man Bun Tech, thanks for the follow and much love for the raid, dude. Thank you for raiding. Much love, buddy. Appreciate you.
Much appreciated.
If you haven't done so already, I'd recommend you watch Hereditary.
Ooh.
It has both psychological. It's really fucking disturbing. And it's also, it has that haunting aspect. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but
appreciate that.
Yeah, but it's really good. And I forgot who directed it. He made that movie Midsummer. Did you ever watch it, Eka?
Oh my god.
I've seen some of that.
What is his name? I know who you're talking about.
Well, that's his like second film, Hereditary, but it's really good. You should watch it. It's just gonna leave you in awe after you watched it. And you're just like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, I'm not sure how I wasn't sure how to feel after watching Hereditary.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I'm pretty desensitized to a lot of stuff because of horror and the internet. But some of these psychological like horror films, specifically that one, Jesus. Yeah. One that also got me too was a semi-recent one was Insidious. Just the first.
Insidious, that's a good one.
Just the first one. The second one was.
All of them are really good.
The second one was all right. I hated the third one. It just seemed a little overdone for me. The first one, though.
The first one jumped the shark for me, though, when the dad went into like the nether realm. It was like, that doesn't make any sense.
I think he did it for like his family or something.
Yeah, he did it essentially to bring his son back because his son drifted too far, and that's the part that really got me, because the whole theme of it being the whole astral projection gone wrong, essentially.
Yeah,
that right there was what got me, because I do a lot of meditation, and in my meditation I find myself astral projecting, in a sense. Which
Oh
essentially,
wow.
what astral projecting is just it's just a form of an outer body experience. That's really what it is.
It's a manifested out of body experience.
Mm-hmm.
Can't you like
Correct.
see yourself from like
Mm-hmm.
let's say a bird's view, like
Exactly.
from above or something like that?
Yeah, exactly. Hence why if you watch closely in the film when they're going back to like all the kids like drawings and everything, you'll see one of the drawings where he said where he writes, "Last night I watched myself sleep." And you see
Fucking
the
disturbing.
yeah, and you see the drawing of him essentially floating above his body in bed, which is astral projecting.
That's insane.
So when I'm watching this, I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you guys. Why
You're
you
like,
guys gotta
I'm
make
not
this
doing
too
that.
fucking good? This is too real.
Too real.
James Wan, you son of a bitch.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
he's
one's
an
good.
awesome director. I'm trying to think of other ones that are really good.
Speaking of
It's
James,
not necessarily a horror film, but I Am Legend.
Thriller.
I found that really, really scary because I was like, oh yeah, this could fucking happen.
Yeah,
I would label that as I would go as far as labeling that as like a psychological thriller in a sense
yeah, for sure.
because that
Mixed
is
with somewhere between zombies and vampires.
yeah there's a sense of realism because it's been tossed around a lot within the
Yeah,
past I say within the past decade.
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I would go as far as saying I Am Legend would be like a thriller, psychological one for sure.
Yeah.
I
So
just remember when I saw the scene where his dog starts turning into a zombie. That shit fucking broke me.
it broke everybody.
It was like, I'm out. Fuck this.
Like that even got
I just become a
my
zombie with
yeah
him.
yeah that got my desensitized ass to cry, dude. I'm just like, why,
Yeah,
bro?
I was bawling my eyes out, bawling, just waterworks, just because I have dogs, grew up with dogs. I have cats now,
same
but I
here.
live in an apartment. Um, but oh my God, that was such and the fucking singing and the music and the whole atmosphere of that film is like
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just across that edge of suspended disbelief, and I think it's
yeah,
well done.
yeah, definitely. I agree.
What are y'all's thoughts on the Resident Evil series? Not the animated films, the live action with Emilia Jovovich.
I've seen a few of them.
I don't think I've ever seen the movies, but I've played like all the games.
Ah, yeah, the games are
Yeah.
amazing.
You
Classics.
did you? What are your thoughts on like Eon Flux and like Ultraviolet?
Ooh.
I don't know what that is. Anyone want to tell me?
Uh,
So like they're both very similar premises, like superpowered woman attacks something with something. It's like they're both based on comic books, I'm pretty sure. So they're kind of tropey, but they came out in that weird era that was like post Matrix, but pre Marvel movies. So like think like Daredevil film style, like original Daredevil film
yeah.
style,
Mm-hmm.
but like science fiction.
Yeah, that's when sci-fi films were kind of the sci-fi film issue was kind of oversaturated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because well, everyone was trying to be like, I guess like level up the futurism because we had just all come online, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like maybe like 5 or 10 years before those movies were being made. So like it's interesting to see how the advances in technology we have, how that pushes the science fiction. But at this point, like reality's catching up.
Yeah.
Crazy enough, it is for sure.
Yeah.
What would you say would be trying to make this as least difficult as possible? Because this is a very difficult question to answer. I'd say your top five like go-to horror movies? Jystdoe.
Great question. So I would say, so like they're not in order, but I'd say I would categorize them by like subgenre.
Okay.
Because like I love all kinds of horror movies, especially like I've been getting into like French horror, um, indie, like new indie horror movies. Um, Great question. So my favorite, probably, I guess my favorite movie that has been my favorite for the longest time has to be. I know everyone has like mixed opinions, but I love Rob Zombie's Halloween. His take on it was really good.
I can agree with that.
Um, he put a lot of backstory into Michael Myers. From the very beginning of the series, there wasn't much information about him, just that he wanted to be with, Laurie and, find Laurie. But Rob Zombie just made the story and just like pushed it and made it really interesting, especially since like the first 45 minutes is just backstory before anything happens. Um, Second, um, good question. Um, I'd probably say Cannibal Holocaust. I don't know if people are gonna think I'm a fucking psycho, but I think that movie's really good. Especially it was made in the 80s. It's the special effects are amazing.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a good film.
Italian filmmaking, dude, really good. Let's
Yo,
see.
welcome back, Big Tacos Basement
Trying to think.
Project. What's good?
I'm just like looking at my shelf right now. Like, what do I have?
No, no, you're all good.
uh,
Take your time. Like I said, I try to make this as least difficult as possible, but yet it's still a difficult question.
because I have so many like favorite movies. It's so hard to choose, but I want to give you some answers. Raw, Raw by what's her name? Julia Cortinao. I think it's how you pronounce it. She's a French filmmaker.
I gotta check that out.
That Yeah, Raw's really good. I think I mentioned it to you before, but it's really good. It's like a coming of age film, and it has like that body horror. And Saw, I really like Saw. Saw's really good. I think all the movies were really great, especially Chris Rock's take on it. I thought that was really good. And kind of think. Uh, we'll just leave it like that for now.
That's a solid list.
Yeah. What about you?
Let's see. I see your question pretty good. We'll get to that in a second. I gotta see here. Top 5. The Omen. The original take on The Omen. That was a good one.
Nice. That's a good one. Yeah.
What was it? I can't remember it, but it was the film that essentially started the whole slasher craze, way back in the '60s.
Psycho?
No, it was before. Yeah. It was before Psycho.
Oh. Trying to think.
I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll get back to you. I'll remember it eventually and get back to you guys about that one. Another one is the 2004 remake of Dawn of the Dead.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Just because that started showing me the more comedic side of horror in a sense.
Yeah, horror comedy is amazing.
Yeah. Let's see, that's 3. The original Texas Chainsaw. That was a great
I was just about to say that. That's my number 5.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I was like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that one. But the original one though. I mean, all the ones that came afterwards, they're great. I've checked the new one out that you recommended.
You did?
Yeah, the one that was produced by Netflix.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I know, right?
I had some questions. There was some plot holes, but overall, I laughed. Yeah. It made me jump once. So I'll give it a solid. Oh yeah, actually, Mia here in the chat just listed another one. It Chapter 2.
Oh, that's a good one.
I was actually very impressed with how that one was done.
Like the new one?
Yeah, the new one.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, I was very, very skeptical of it.
I honestly think the new Pennywise might be a little scarier than the original, but that's my opinion.
No,
Especially when like
absolutely.
he turns into
Yeah,
a freaking beast. I'm just like,
they actually did a good job of making a clown like scary in a way that isn't just, oh, I'm a creepy clown.
Well,
It was
yeah,
like,
it's a difference of just how the of uh, how Tim Curry looked versus how Bill Skarsgård looked. Tim Curry had more of a circus clown look to it.
yeah,
yeah,
that was kind of what I was getting at. It's
Mhm.
more of a like classic French clown that you see in
Exactly.
the new one.
Whereas, yeah, this we got, the traditional carnival clown, something that looked
yeah,
more organic, which is why he had more of an ominous presence.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was skeptical as fuck watching the chapter 2, just
Really good.
because I like the first one. There was just some parts of it I'm just like, okay, like seriously, what the fuck, was that really necessary? But it had also some information and stuff that we got that we didn't get in the first cut.
Oh,
A lot more from the book this go around for part 1 and part 2, which was really cool.
yeah,
That's what I heard, and I heard that that's what the fans wanted. They were like,
Mhm.
if you're gonna reboot it, don't just regurgitate the script, write something better.
yeah,
And I feel like with chapter 2 they did exactly that. They did a really good job with that.
yeah.
Because goddamn, that was great. And then the fact that they got Stephen King to come in and do a little cameo part, that shit was funny as fuck.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Homage to the original.
Mm-hmm. Like I heard his voice. I'm like, no fucking way. And then
That's
there
sick.
he is, just a small little cameo role. I'm like, all right, cool. He's now pulling a Stan Lee. What, is he going to appear in all of his fucking movies from here on out?
Yeah,
Hell yeah, let's go.
And make jigillions of dollars from it.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he will do that.
He'll pull a Stan Lee.
Fuck it, let's go.
You can't even tell me that Stan Lee didn't have some kind of crazy clause in all those appearances that like gave his grandson's gratuity on his image
Oh,
or something crazy like that.
so much.
The
Like,
man's a legend.
yeah, the whole
Yeah.
family's set for life. We got Petty got over here asking a question here. What's your take on the Paranormal Activity movies?
Paranormal Activity.
I'll let you take
I
it
really
further.
like the.
Cheers, by the way.
Yeah. Cheers, my
Cheers.
dude. I don't know if Gavin got some, but cheers, my dude. Paranormal Activity, I really like. I think I saw the movie when I was like really young, when I was like, before I was a teenager. It was on my birthday. I wanted to go watch the movie, so I went by myself. My friends dropped me off, and I watched it by myself, thinking it wasn't going to be a problem. But especially the last scene, I don't want to spoil it. I don't know if anyone's seen it, but where the camera falls down or something like that, and like it's just like really creepy. But I
Yeah,
think
you can just hear like the thumps, and isn't there like a flash
so
in the
quiet.
shadow?
Yeah, it's just like so quiet and just like so ominous. And I feel like the suspense in those movies are just amazing, especially since it's like semi early like paranormal stuff. Like
Mhm.
hauntings. I don't know when that movie came out, but it was a long. It was a while ago.
2000, 2006 or 7,
Yeah,
maybe 8.
Yeah, roughly around
I
there.
know it came out when I was in high school because I
but
watched some of it at one point.
Yeah, I think it came out around 2006, 2007, because I remember being, what was it, 14, 15 when I went to go see it. And honestly, I think that movie started the whole paranormal haunting craze that we have now.
yeah,
Well, when that
exactly.
movie came out, I was super into like ghost adventures and ghost hunters. So I was like, oh, I know this is fake. This is a movie. So it doesn't like trick me. I was more tricked by like the Discovery Channel shows.
Mm-hmm. I feel that.
Yeah,
So I was
it's a
like,
great
it may
movie.
be pageantry, but I mean, this is still believable, you know?
Thick Tacos asked us, "Did you like Midsommar?"
I love
Hey,
Midsummer.
Yeah,
you guys were just
Have you guys seen
watching
it?
it. I
I
haven't watched it. I've watched like previews of it.
I've seen it.
It's really good.
I've seen it once, but vague memory of it. But I did enjoy it though. I remember enjoying it for sure.
I just really like how that movie is all shot in the day, and that's like something that I don't think has been executed well. I mean, you do
Yeah.
have scenes in horror movies where, it's in the day, but nothing's really going on. And the psychedelic aspect to it,
Mm-hmm.
how everything is like moving and stuff, and the cold, like, I just think that's like a breath of fresh air for like upcoming horror movies.
I think that's kind of the reason why I have a vague memory of it because of the whole psychedelic aspect of it.
Yeah.
My fried ass has done one too many tabs of acid, so
You're
yeah,
like, I don't know if I'm
yeah,
just tripping or not.
exactly. So I think I might have just tuned out just to kind of make
You're
sure I
like,
was
I might be
centered.
peeking from the acid I took 3 years ago.
I'm like, did I? I swear to God, I didn't take anything, did I? And I'm
You're like,
looking
what
over,
the?
and I'm looking here, and I'll look over. I'm like, I know I didn't smoke myself stupid to the point where I would trigger a flashback, because it's happened before.
Really?
Yeah,
Is that true? That
hmm
happened?
it happens. It's a I forgot the actual acronym, but it's basically like a form of PTSD, but with psychedelics in a
Wow.
sense.
I did not know that.
hmm Essentially, I've fried certain receptors in my brain to where if I do any acid, it's going to be a really really strong trip no matter what.
Yeah.
And if I smoke so much to the point where I'm just massively, just stupidly stoned, it could trigger a flashback. Sometimes it's chill, sometimes it's intense. It's really just kind of a
Yeah.
roll of the dice.
Wow.
It is what it is. You kind of learn to live with it.
Yeah.
Just,
Interesting.
just crack your back and keep it moving.
Pretty
Yeah.
much, exactly. Just kind of grit your teeth and hang on for the ride.
Yeah. Buckle
Um,
up.
Mia here asking, what up, Mia? Nice to see you in the chat, by the way. Much love. What about the Wreck movies? If you've seen those,
Which ones? Sorry.
Rec it's RAC with a period at the end, or it's recording, or whatever the hell it's called. I never sure what it's called. I've seen it pop up. Those are
I'm gonna Google it really fast.
yeah, go for it. They're they're interesting. Granted,
Kind of like,
I've only seen like the first one and bits and pieces of the second one.
Oh, okay. It's called Rec
Yeah,
or Recording.
I'm never
I have
sure what it's
not seen
called.
that one. It looks like a thriller.
Yeah, it's more of a thriller for sure. Oh yeah, Mia here says it's like the movie. It's like the movie Quarantine.
Huh.
interesting.
I don't think I've seen Quarantine before.
Hmm. Yeah,
Have you guys seen it?
yeah, it's that Quarantine's a pretty good film. The Rec movies are yes, it is in Spanish. By the way,
Oh, okay. I should watch it. I'm gonna add that to my list.
yeah, another good film that was that's in Spanish is Veronica.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw that I think earlier this year, last year. Um, wow. So everything that happened in the movie is actually based on true events.
Oh, okay.
And at the end of the movie, they actually show the real footage of the aftermath of everything that went down in the film.
Shit.
Mm-hmm.
I
Slight,
gotta check it out.
yeah, slight spoiler. It opens up with the actual phone call made at the night of at the night of the height of all the of all the of all the occurrences, the activity, and the aftermath of everything. You actually hear the actual phone call made from the house to the police department. This
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this all happened like the early '90s out in Barcelona or somewhere out in Spain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. I gotta add it to my list.
it's pretty good. It's a really nice paranormal slash psychological thriller. It's pretty good.
I recently watched one called Parasite. It's more like a thriller. Have you guys seen that one? It's like a
Yeah,
Japanese.
Korean
Uh,
actually.
oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, all good. But yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, that one's really good. I loved how it was like very comedic at times, and
Mm-hmm.
it had its moments, but it's a really well made movie. I
Very.
think it won some festivals, and I'm like, yeah, this movie is really good.
Yeah,
I
it's definitely up there. Won a lot of awards. I actually thought when I first saw it, I thought it was something completely different because I had just watched and finished slash finished reading a manga called Parasite,
Okay.
and there's a whole anime series as well. But after watching and reading that and being so hyped up about it, because it's really awesome. It's a really cool like thriller horror anime slash manga. So I definitely recommend it.
Nice.
So when I saw the movie came out, I'm just like, oh sweet, fuck yeah, a Parasite live action movie, let's go. Not exactly what I thought it was, but still fucking great.
Yeah, I loved it. It's a really good movie.
Yeah, definitely one that I laughed my ass off throughout the entire fucking thing.
Yeah.
I think
It,
I think what you guys have stumbled on is my core issue with a lot of horror. It's that it's a lot of it's just not good film. You know what I mean? They're not the best movies. So you really have to like go for it in terms of suspending your disbelief. Like,
yeah.
That as well as searching for what you enjoy as far as horror.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because I have
yeah,
some homies that enjoy horror, but they're more they enjoy more gore, what I call gore porn or gorecore.
like Saw.
Yeah, so they like Saw or just a lot
Well,
movies like what was it, Green Inferno,
yeah.
Indigenous.
They're gorehounds.
Yeah, just as long as there's massive blood flow, body dismemberment in the
Yeah.
film, they're all about it. They don't care what the premise is, as long as there's all that gory stuff that's in there. They don't care what's going on.
Like
Yeah.
that with war films. Like I'll watch any war film from any era. Like
Yeah, like they're all about films like that too.
yeah, like Bridge Over the River Kwai, get out of here. So good.
That's one of my homies' like favorite films right there.
So it's one of the best war films ever made.
That, and he also likes the movie Ironclad.
And Ironclad's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen Glory?
Oh yeah, Glory's classic.
Glory.
I haven't seen
Glory's
it.
interesting. It has Matthew Broderick in it, and it's about the first regiment of
Denzel
African
Washington.
American.
Denzel Washington too, by the way.
Yep, yep. First, like battalion of Native African American freed slaves, and the story's kind of about the leader, but it's also mostly about this regiment. And historically, they were the first to attack one of the bases. I can't remember what the fort was called, but yeah,
Yeah,
great.
it was one of the main like Southern Confederate
It
bases.
it was one of the first ones that um, the Union took. I can't for the life of me remember it. It'll pop up in my head while I'm trying to sleep.
All good.
But yeah, really great movie.
Mm-hmm. Super great film. Um,
Gotta check it out.
Mia in here asked, "What about Pan's Labyrinth?"
Labyrinth is it's like a classic, right? Like
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would say so.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Good movie, yeah.
Guillermo del Toro, great director.
Yeah.
Great film.
I don't remember it. I think very vaguely.
Mm.
Good film.
Yeah, great film. Visually, just absolutely stunning. Just wow. Guillermo del Toro, he's honestly one of my favorite directors. Honestly.
I feel like he kind of busted open the door for that. Like when you guys talk about horror, I definitely think of Hispanic film too.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? That sort of like Candy Skull aesthetic. Like I feel like a lot of people were trying to capture that in horror for a
Yeah.
while.
He definitely did a really good job with that aesthetic in Crimson Peak. Crimson
I've
Peak.
never heard of that one.
It,
Yeah, me neither.
It's one of his like second most major releases that he's films that he's done. His most major film that he did recently, I think, was Scary Stories You Tell in the Dark.
Oh yeah.
Great on that one too. Like, perfect fucking choice of director for that film.
Isn't that based off of the book?
Yeah, the whole
Yeah,
book
the
series.
children's book, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember reading that. That scared the shit out of me.
That's what kind of got me into horror right there, actually.
Yeah, I think so too.
Reading
I
those
like being
books.
scared.
Yeah, reading those books and then getting past the Goosebumps phase and actually delving into like actual like horror novels.
Yeah.
For the life of me, I can't remember any of the first ones that I read off the top of my head because it's been so long.
Yeah.
I was lost with the elves and the dragons at that point. There was no saving me.
Mm. And then I got into comics, but I found Dark Horse comics, and that had more of like the horror sci-fi side of comics, and that was really sick. Like that's what kind of got me into what was it? It's what got me
They
into
did a lot of Star Wars comics too, didn't they?
yeah, recent kind of towards like the late part of the early 2000s before the turn of the decade.
Yeah.
Same with Gears of War comics, and that's what kind of got me into the video game Gears of War. But what really got me into it was Hellboy.
Yeah. It wasn't
Boy.
Hellboy. I thought Hellboy was Image Comics.
Now there were some parts of the Hellboy story where it was made by Dark Horse. Yeah.
I had an original printing of the first like trade run of Pokemon that my mom bought for me online. And I had the first 5 trades of it. And if I had kept those in mint condition, like I know for a fact they were rare because like my mom had to like special order them. It was like before Pokemon was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, dude, like I'm so upset that I don't have those anymore. And I had like the original Pokedex, like the book. Like I know like people are kind of like, oh, print media is dying, but it's not dying, it's just getting really rare. And I think that like the trading card swell that we've seen is like evidence of that.
One more towards the collector's market.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel that.
As
Yeah, that's like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, as books go out of print in lieu of digital, books are gonna get more valuable.
Yeah.
That's for damn sure. You you have a couple of collectibles, horror collectibles yourself, don't you, Jystdoe?
Yeah, I still collect Blu-rays and DVDs of like my favorite horror movies. And I also like collect action figures and like props, that I can get my hands on.
Ooh, props. What kind of props do you have right now?
Like not like from the set, but like I have like like molds of like masks. Like I have one of Michael Myers from Halloween Kills. I can show you guys. Hold on.
Oh, dude, hell yeah.
Quick musical interlude. Doo, 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 doo.
Dun-dun-dun.
Oh, that's sick.
Dude, that is so awesome.
High quality content right here.
Hell yeah.
You're getting a fucking showcase right here. Yeah, this is from Trick or Treat Studios. This is from Halloween Kills. I did the paint job on this, like right here, to make it look like more burnt.
Mm.
Ooh,
Yeah.
it looks sick.
Thank you.
That is so badass, dude.
Thank you. I also have one of like the pig head from Saw, but it's like all the way up there. But
That's
Yeah.
that's still awesome.
Yeah.
Man, that's cool. I've held and wore one of the original gloves used on set from Nightmare on Elm Street.
Dude, how was that? Is that like they're
It
big or something?
it was amazing to wear it, dog. My uncle was one of the guys that helped make the original glove
Oh
for it.
shit, dude.
Yeah. So he had one of the ones that was made and worn, and he brought it out, and I'm just like, oh my god. He goes, here, you can go ahead and take it, check it out, put it on. I'm like, no way. So I put it on, just like,
You're
oh.
like, I got it.
I'm just like, now being forgotten. Now that's a bitch. Dude, it was
Yeah,
so fucking like it was surreal wearing that, and I just felt like the power of Wes Craven just flow through me,
he took over, he possessed
and
you.
I felt that. I'm just like, oh, this is great. Me over here is like, I have the video of it. She was there. It was great. Like my reaction was just priceless, like a kid in a candy shop, dude. It was great.
That's sick, dude.
Oh yeah,
That is sick.
that's badass. I used to have a couple of props myself before they got sold by my ex-wife, unfortunately.
Oh no, what did you have?
I had one of the original knives used from the second Halloween.
Oh wow. That's sick.
It wasn't used, but it was one of the ones that was available on set.
Yeah, that's sick. Still
Um,
came from the studio.
yeah,
Sick.
this is kind of a dark and weird one, but I had one of the copy of the autopsies of one of Jeffrey Dahmer's victims.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
I'm a huge like serial killer buff.
True crime.
Yeah, so like
Nice.
when I saw that
Nice.
just randomly pop up on like the kind of weirder, dark, obscure, darker side of eBay, I'm just like, I don't know what's compelling me to do this, but I'm buying this. This is going up on the wall.
That's
There's
how
a
I feel about
website.
Lego sets. I said that's how I feel about Lego sets.
Lego sets.
Yeah, I don't even build them. My girlfriend builds them. I just am like, ooh, that'd be cool to have in a Lego.
Nice.
And then she builds it, and then you get it to display. That's bad. That's cool.
Yeah,
Everybody wins.
exactly. Gift that keeps on gifting.
That's awesome. I'm trying to think what else did I had. I had one of the one of the bottles of fake blood from My Bloody Valentine.
Oh, nice, dude.
Yeah. I don't know why. Like I just saw it. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Spending money on this too.
Here, I also have this that I can that's in reach, but it's Rob Zombie's Halloween Michael Myers
Ooh,
that I also got. It's really old. It's from 2008. They don't sell them anymore, but this is also like another one that I have.
That's really
that's
badass.
sick.
Thank you. Yeah, that's like super old, so I like just leave it there.
I was in a mall one time, and in this mall there was like a vintage video game store. They had a Sega Saturn. I almost fucking bought it. But so in their front display, they had these like glass cute cubbies basically, and they had all their vinyl figures on there, and they didn't like have any organization to them, and they weren't done by size or anything. And I was looking at it, I was like, this is a real missed opportunity to have the most epic showdowns you could ever place on a front
Yeah.
display. Like, you could
Yeah.
have Naruto fighting Frieza, who's like trying to help the Demon Slayer. Like,
It's getting attacked by Michael Myers.
exactly. There was all different kinds in there, and then you could just have like an entire top row of weeaboos. It's fucking great.
Sounds sick.
Right, but whoever was managing that clearly did not see that opportunity.
Yeah, missed opportunity right there.
I was about to say, shit, man, that's their loss.
Yeah, tough luck.
That is tough luck. Awkward pause. I was thinking of something and I had a brain fart again. God damn it.
I could see that you were about to say something. That's why I didn't say anything.
Yeah, same here. I thought, yeah.
No, feel free. If y'all got something to say, go for it. Feel free. Don't mind me. Oh, yeah.
While we're here, is there anybody, Jystdoe, that you want to like shout out? I feel like you've been doing shout outs this whole time. You're a very gracious dude. It's pretty awesome.
Thank you. Having your people, is, with you is, it's awesome. Being a family,
Takes a village.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Damn, there was a saying that I always go by, but it's kind of similar to what you were saying. But yeah, trying to think. Shout out Murmc Music, first of all.
Thank you.
Shout out Bass Capital from Denver. Shout out Exile Collective from San Francisco. Olympus events from San Francisco.
Oh, absolutely. Shout out Olympus.
Hell yeah. And all the DJ homies that I have. You guys know who you are. Bay Area scene.
Absolutely.
It's very small, especially dubstep. I feel like I know all the local dubstep DJs in the area, so you guys know who you are.
Yeah, I'm starting to see that it's a very tight knit group. Everybody kind of knows everybody.
Yeah,
which is pretty
like
cool.
your hat is a great example.
Dude, absolutely. Which, by the way, if you got slaps, dude, you need to send them to me ASAP.
I do. I know. I will. I for sure will.
This is just going to be the hat of slaps. Like, anybody who's got a slap for themselves, if they're a DJ, it's going on here.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, shout out Quinlo, Dazzles, and Rushdown.
Hello.
That's the boy right there.
Rushdown.
Yeah, dude, Rushdown threw the fuck down at DNA. I'm still not over that show. That show was just too fun.
That was awesome. Almost threw down. I loved his set too.
Yeah, he did. I mean, granted, I was only there for a little bit because after my set, everybody was like, "Yo, let's kick it. Let's do stuff."
Yeah.
It was still fun though.
Yeah, it was a great time.
Yeah, thanks for showing up and bringing some fam, dude. That was great.
Oh, absolutely, man. I told you I'd come and support. It was lit.
Hell yeah. And again, super fun having you up there, dude. That shit was fun.
It was a lot of fun, man. I loved being up there and just dancing with the crowd and
hell yeah,
being your hype man.
I would have joined you at the front had I not been so focused on keeping the chops up.
Hell yeah, dude! Especially when you were doing those back chops, like, we were just like,
oh, dude, that shit was so funny. I wish I had footage of that to put in the recap video because I put out a recap video on my channel, but I wish I didn't get.
Oh, nice.
I'm not sure if I have footage of it or not. I gotta look harder, but that shit was funny.
Good.
I just remember I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, there's a section here where it's just simple 1-2 chops. I could do it backwards. And I'm looking at the deck. I'm like, yeah, I think my arms can reach this height backwards. Let's see. Fuck it. Yeah. I turn around. I'm like, okay, this sucks, but we're already committed. Fuck it. And then I just remember Abe and I forgot who else that worked for Olympus that was up there, but they just both look at me going, what the fuck? And I just can't help but just look over. I'm like, fuck with my shit, bitch.
That was really impressive. We all were like, look at him. He's like chopping with his hands, behind his back.
Thank you. I really try to make it so that way like OG Riddim really stood out on top of me.
Sure did, dude. I loved your set. I think you were like the only one that did like OG Riddim. And it was like right before Omaz. It was definitely setting the vibe.
For sure. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty fucking nervous because it was after sound check where I'm just like, fuck.
Yeah.
Should have brought something a little more angry, a little more harder for DNA. Fuck. Not sure.
All good.
Not sure if what I got here is gonna do well. Because I heard
really well.
Because I heard Rushdown to sound check. I'm like, okay, hold the fuck up. Why am I going before Omos, dog? Let me close out. Let me be the last guy, so that way everybody can leave while they're listening to Riddim. That's fine. I'll take that. I'll even take the opening spot. Fuck it. I'll go first. I'm fine with that.
Dude, you went in direct support.
Well, this was my thought process. So I mean, I'm still glad it worked out, but this was my whole thought process. So when I heard Rushdown soundcheck, I'm like, fuck, what? And then Dazzle soundcheck. I'm just like, okay, wait a minute. Hold the fuck up. This whole order of the lineup's all fucked up, guys. Hold on. Y'all got me nervous and shit.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, all right, dude, go to soundcheck. They're like, all right, dude, soundcheck your shit. I'm like, and then literally I just like grip I have my USB. I grip it so tight and I just look up and I see Rushdown just laughing. I'm just like, here goes nothing.
Hell yeah, dude. That was awesome. Like it was Dazzles, right? Or it was Rushdown, Dazzles, you, then Omos, right? And then
we had
played after.
Well, Rushdown was the closer. We had we had a last minute opener. Who I found out was my homie Nick, aka Coldest Turkey. Shout out, buddy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. He played Riddim, but it was more like, you know, like up tempo Riddim, like 145, 150. It was still solid as fuck. Like, damn. I was skanking and throwing high knees all over that dance floor, which thank God too, because there was like barely any people there because it just opened.
Yeah.
But it was still I was fucking, man. Nick had me. Nick had me going. Good fucking shit.
Nice. I should have gone there really early.
Yeah, I didn't even know he was our opener until he shows up for sound check. I'm like, oh shit, what's up, dude? You working the event? He goes, nah, dude, I'm your opener.
Nice.
Let's go. He goes, yeah, dude. I'm excited to see what you got, dude. I'm like, I got OG shit. I just listened to these two guys. I'm not sure how I suck. He goes, OG what? OG Riddim? I'm like, yeah. He goes, like, real OG? Like, I'm like, yeah, you know, 2012, 2016 style shit. He goes, choice. Nice. And then he sound checks. He does his sound check. I'm just like, all right, guys, fuck. I should have brought my computer and just reworked my set. Fuck.
You did great, bro. That was sick.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Everyone was feeling it for sure. I looked around and everyone was like dancing.
Oh no, yeah, there was parts where people were feeling it. I just got to remember that there's not a lot of people out here that just don't, or like, won't really understand OG Riddim until they experience it a couple of times.
Yeah.
And that was a crowd that needed to experience Riddim a couple more times.
Mm-hmm.
It was more of a mainstream crowd, but it was still fun. Like, looking back at the footage that I have, there are some people there. I can tell that there are some people out there vibing for sure. And shout out to all the homies that gave me fucking their edits and tracks for that set too. That shit, nice. Yeah, kind of a last minute crunch because I had a completely different set planned to kind of fit the whole vibe. Because originally it was Monks that was gonna be the headliner.
Yeah.
So I was like, cool, Monks, kind of OG Riddim.
Yeah.
Kind of mainstream, but
wonky.
Riddim, wonky. I could do a wonky set to set the vibe for Monks for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found out that he canceled because of health reasons, which hope you feel better, Monks. Even though, no disrespect, your team sucks. I'm gonna just say it and call it out. Your team sucks, dude. Monks, you should get a new team that manages your shit better. Just saying. Anyways, moving forward. Opinion out there. Then I found out that Omos was our headliner. I'm like, all right, cool. Now I gotta figure out a whole new Riddim set. Shit.
It worked out well.
Yeah, no, that was literally like cranking and cramming everything in like the day before. I'm like, all right, I think this set's good enough. Ran it a couple times. I'm like, all right, no, yeah, this set's fine. Although it was funny when I one of my homies told me this when they were in the crowd when I started playing when I started playing Lean With It, Rock With It.
Yeah.
Some dude was like, "Yo, Bay Area shit." I'm like, "Wait, what? Someone said that?" And they're like, "Yeah," and I'm just sitting, and my homie was like, and I'm just sitting there like, "Sir, this is not a Bay Area song."
Yeah.
I'm just like, "Oh god, these people. I'm so sorry." That's funny.
They just thought it was.
So what were your thought process? What was your thoughts going into the to the Tizoki set?
I so whenever it comes to like playing DNA Lounge or like venues that are similar to it, or they do have like a very popular dubstep scene,
Mm-hmm.
I do like to incorporate like just dubstep songs. I guess you would call it like bro step or tear out. But I always like to start off with something very high, energy, like such as songs like that,
Mm-hmm.
and then completely transition into rhythm almost right away, and to let everyone know that this is going to be some rhythm. And for that show, I played at the Dazzle Room, which is the side stage of that venue, and a lot of it already had some rhythm and similar styles like myself. So I wasn't too nervous about like, you know, uh, making a set that's too different from everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like DNA Lounge is very accepting, and they like anything that you put to the table, especially with like dubstep or rhythm.
Yeah.
So having a platform like that is really helpful because then you can just make sets of whatever you want to do. And this goes for other shows too that happen at DNA Lounge. I know like So Stoked and like Player Alliance, they throw shows
Mm-hmm.
like that have like trance, techno, house. So it was just kind of like free game there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I wanted to pull. I was planning to go to that, but unfortunately, during the same night, Doctor Fresh is playing down the street at 10:15.
Oh,
So
nice.
I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
And then
Had to
he hits me up.
go.
He goes, "I got you on guest list, dude. If you're gonna
Yeah.
slide through," I'm just like, fuck. All right, I'll slide through. Fuck it. I'll slide
You're
through.
like have to. Free
I'll
guest list, right?
Which shout out to Tony, by the way. That night was that venue was insane, sold out like completely. That 10:15 was packed full. Like upstairs was completely packed and shit. Like ridiculous. But
Wow, that's sick.
man, that shit was popping though.
Gotta go to one of his shows sometime.
He's coming back actually to Pure
Oh,
in
nice.
August.
Oh, okay. Gotta
Yeah,
go to that.
yeah, I'll be there for sure.
Nice. We'll have to link up.
Oh, absolutely. As will Mia. Mia will be there with me too.
Nice.
Yeah, that's gonna be super fun. But all right, we're gonna go ahead and start wrapping things up here, fam. Since we've been at this for a minute, is there anything you'd like to say to our esteemed internet audience there, Jystdoe, before we wrap things up?
Yeah, thank you so much to everyone who tuned in. I'm glad you guys were able to get to know me a little bit more. And Eka and Gavin, awesome talking to you guys. I've been wanting to do a podcast and talk and hang out with like my friends for a long time. So it's honestly, an honor to do this with you guys, and I hope and I can't wait to work with Murmc again. So thank you guys so much, and you guys can follow me on my social media. It's Jystdoe, Jystdoe. That's for like my main socials. So yeah, give me a follow and I'll follow back.
Yeah, we'll definitely add all your social links into the video description for our YouTube upload when we put it up there.
Oh, okay. This is gonna be on YouTube.
Yeah,
Hey.
absolutely. Yeah. For sure, absolutely. Well, it was great having you on, man. I'm glad we're able to get you on here for sure.
Absolute pleasure, brother. Thanks for being here.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I wanted to get you on here for a good minute too. So I figured now after we got our collab out would be a good time for us to do that.
Hell yeah. I loved it. We should do this again sometime.
Absolutely, both this and another collab maybe.
Hell yeah, for sure.
Send me something. Send me something this time.
I got you. Well, I'll start working right away.
Hell yeah, awesome. All right, Twitch. Well, thank you again for hanging out and tuning in for this awesome and super fun and really entertaining episode of the Murmc Sound Podcast. Thank you again. We really appreciate it. If you haven't already, and this also goes to our esteemed internet audience watching this on YouTube, if you haven't already, follow us all over Murmc Music on Twitter, Instagram. Follow us on, like and subscribe us on YouTube. Follow us here on Twitch. We got more podcast episodes on the way. We got another demo stream coming up here soon. More info on that. More music coming your way from both myself, Gavin, and Jystdoe, and all of the other amazing Murmc artists that we have already on the label. Until next time, guys, much love. Peace out.
Peace,
Ciao,
peace.
guys. Have a great night, guys. Take care.